All right, in this video, I'm going to show you how to make sure you never get scammed by a marketing agency who's trying to sell you Google local service ads management. It's really important to be educated when you're shopping around, looking at different marketing services and getting familiar with like what they offer. Because a lot of times, marketing people will throw out all of this like really kind of confusing jargon and language and technical stuff, and it almost sounds like there's magical internet money where they're just pushing buttons and making money rain from the sky. And they say that they're using AI and all this stuff, and it just gets confusing. And sometimes you just feel like, well, they're convincing enough. Here's some money. Hopefully, it works out. And I don't feel like people should make decisions that way in business. I feel like you should go, okay, this makes logical sense. I see exactly how it works, why it works, and I have certainty that this will work for me. Therefore, I'm willing to pay and invest in this service. Okay. So that's why I'm doing this for you. I want to make sure you guys are educated and understand how this stuff works. Now, I'm going to talk about Google local service ads in this video. Okay. That's gone under multiple different names prior. A lot of people familiar with it as like Google pay per lead or Google guarantee, right? Google local service ads is what it's called right now. And essentially, what am I talking about? Where does it live? Now, imagine if you typed in water damage restoration near me, and you see these results right here at the top that say sponsored water damage restoration, right? This is this section right up here. This is your Google local service ads. I'm going to talk about how you get these to show up and all that stuff, and why you should never be paying a company an ongoing fee to do this. These are very different than these right here. Okay, these sponsored results right here are the traditional Google pay-per-click, or kind of the old terminology for the old school would be Google AdWords. Okay, so yes, you should pay a professional to do Google AdWords. You're bidding on keywords. There's a lot of things that can go wrong. I've heard horror stories of people paying setting the budget wrong, and it's setting the location wrong, so they're getting a bunch of clicks from out of the country, and just burning through crazy amounts of money really quickly because they just had no idea what they were doing, and they went and clicked some wrong buttons, and it was a bad deal for them. So you should have a professional do this for you, somebody who's got battle tested landing pages that you 100% know have done this in this industry before and it converts. And two, somebody who has a large negative keyword list, because there's a lot of wrong keywords somebody could type in that maybe you think they're looking for a restoration company or a mitigation company, but they're really not. And you don't want to get charged much money for those guys clicking on stuff. So those are really two things. Make sure they've done it in this industry before. They have a massive negative keyword list, and they have battle tested landing pages. All right, if they're ever going to do this. Now, that's completely different. For a fee for this, you should be probably spending for somebody good between $1,000 a month to $1,500, unless you have a very large budget and a very large service area, or you're doing it regionally. It can change the price a little bit. That's just the service fee on that. For the ad spend, minimum typically for the pay-per-click side of things, you're going to be looking somewhere around baseline $3,000 a month in ad spend, just to kind of feel it out and see if it's something worthwhile for you. And then you can maybe try scaling a little bit from there. It's really hard to scale though, because there's a lot of different reasons with the supply and demand and the bell curve of exponential increase in cost per lead versus quantity of lead. And I'll probably create a whole other video on that. But to get back to this with Google local service ads, what I like to do, guys, when I'm looking for information about a platform and how it works, and to make sure I'm not getting the wool pulled over my eyes, is I'll just go and look up the official documentation of the platform that the marketer is using, to then learn about it there. And you can use ChatGPT to just ask, pull up the official documentation for this or that, and it'll just give you the direct links to it, which is awesome. So let me show you Google local service ads. Here is where it shows up. Okay, Google's official documentation on it. So improve your local service ads performance. These are the levers. These are the things that you can actually do to control the performance in Google local service ads. So one, expand your job types and service areas. Okay, so you do this when you set up your profile. You're going to put in the types of services that you offer, and you're going to put in your service area. Okay, you should not be paying a company an ongoing fee to do that. You can pay a company a little fee to set up the profile. That's about it, right? Encourage past customers to review your business. If you have a Google My Business profile, one of these over here, uh, where you can click and you can see where it's located, and it shows you the reviews and all that stuff. You should be pushing this thing out like crazy, just on your own, to try to get people to give you your reviews, all your past customers, and rack it up with as many reviews as possible. It's not a something that a marketing company can do for you. They're not going to go in and you know get you fake reviews or anything. It's pretty simple to go and just let all of your technicians send a review request to every single customer, or to hand them a business card with a review request on it or something whenever they complete a job. You don't need to have a marketing company do that for you. Um, but it does make sense that Google wants reviews, because Google is a business themselves, and they want to make sure that the people that they're sending to you have a good experience and not a bad one, or else they're on the hook, right? So reviews make sense. Now, maximize leads with bidding. You're going to see a little tiny section in there that has a little bit of controls in terms of, like, what you want your max bid per lead and all that stuff to be. Just you can toy around with that, but to be honest with you, you're not gonna just magically get more leads than what are already there. Usually a lot of guys I see, they just kind of put that to whatever the max they can, so that they can just get whatever maximum leads there possibly are. And there's not some weird science of moving it up and down all the time and all of this. Um, it's kind of a set it and forget it thing a lot with this. Okay, use high quality photos in your ad. um, you can go back over here like we just were, and you can see the photos here. It's pretty simple, but make sure you got a high quality photo that says, yeah, this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a company that does that. Maybe there's a little bit of common sense there. You can pay somebody for some common sense advice on what photos you should put on there, but hey, if you go and look enough, you can kind of see and get some ideas of what other people are doing in your market. And if you have a bunch of bozos in your market and you don't want to look at what they're doing, you want to look at what other people are doing that are killing it in a different market, you can go get this little Chrome extension here called GS Location Changer, and you can go and find, you can just type in whatever market you want, whatever city, and then click enable overwrite and then search, and it will start searching as if you're in that location. Okay, that's a little trick for you. Going back over here, other than that, like, you can just opt into the new features that Google local service ads is rolling out. Um, this is what you can do, right? Like, this is the length of the article. So if somebody's charging you money every month to manage your Google LSA, it's a scam, right? Now, if you have them doing, like, your other services for you, like, let's say Google pay per click, or some website SEO and some Google My Business profile optimization stuff. If they're providing you another service and then they just kind of add in that they'll monitor it, make changes, update it, whatever, for you, and that's a kind of a free thing, good on you, that's fine. But if you have a company coming to you and says, yeah, we'll help you manage your Google local service ads, and it's $1,000 a month, that is a scam. It does not make any sense. They're literally not doing anything on a monthly basis to get you any results, or to make any changes or do anything. Okay. So yeah, I want to just bring you content that helps you make good decisions in your business, to understand this world of marketing, what goes on behind the curtain, what goes on behind the scenes. And you can do the same thing I'm doing here. You go to ChatGPT and look up, the official documentation of whatever you're trying to figure out, and it will just tell you. There's no magical internet button that just makes money rain from the sky. There's no mystical thing that some guru knows that nobody else does. And usually, if there is something like that, it's usually some black hat stuff, meaning that they've kind of found a little loophole to kind of go around the system, and then it might work for a little bit, and then Google figures it out, and then they create an algorithm that automatically bans anybody who's doing that, and then your entire account is banned, and now Google doesn't want you to work with them anymore, and they don't allow you to they blacklist your emails, they blacklist your accounts, they blacklist your credit cards, they shut down your Google My Business profile, and you're just smoked. And they're such a big company, it's not like you can jump on a phone call with somebody and they're going to help you get it back. And oh, it was one big misunderstanding. No, they don't care. They have so many customers. You're just a number to them, and you'll never get your account back for the most part. And if you do, it takes a long time and amount of energy, time, and fighting to just try to get it back. And it's not worth it. Play by the rules, build a good business, take care of people, provide a good service, get legitimate reviews, and just put in the work and do things right. Treat people right, do the right thing always. That's what I believe in. So anyways, if this video is helpful, give it a thumbs up, drop a comment if you'd like to ask a question about anything marketing related, and I can keep them coming to you. Appreciate you. Thank you for watching. God bless.